Matt, it's your time to shine. Your wide receiver one in this year's class. Matt's wide receiver one, Zay Flowers. The floor is yours, Matt. Take it away.
I mean, okay, we know everybody's concerned. He's 5'9", 182. Not the biggest guy, but my God, can he play football. He is so... I mean, his routes are extremely quick, and they're able to maintain momentum through his turns there. He's arguably the best deep ball receiver in this class. I think his ability to get up and make contested catches, better than the 6'3" Quentin Johnson. He works back to the throw when needed to. He's extremely slippery and a great open field runner. I mean, he's good. I mean, his overall ball skill... the one thing I would say is his hands are not great, but his overall ball skills are probably the best in this class. He's extremely good there. And I mean, the weaknesses, he's just short. He's smaller. He's one of the smaller guys, but that's something that you have to work with. That you're drafting him not because of his size. You're drafting him because of the player he is, and you're able to work that into your system. So for a team that is looking for this guy, he is the best receiver in this class, and I don't think there's a question about it.
Yeah, I mean, his size is a concern for a lot of people. I'm the same way. Not a concern for me. This guy has inside-outside versatility.
Yep.
And this guy's probably the most competitive wide receiver in this year's class. And at the catch point, whether it's after the catch, running through somebody if he needs to, blowing somebody up if he needs to as a blocker, the competitiveness is there. The skill set is there. The only thing you're knocking him on is his size. Overall, he is one of the most enticing prospects, especially at this position, in my opinion, in this year's class. I mean, you look at the two comparisons. At his full potential, Antonio Brown and Steve Smith.
Yep.
Two Hall of Fame, prolific, explosive, turn the TV on, you're watching him type of guy, and we're knocking him because of his size?
Exactly.
We've seen this before many of times. Why are we still doing this? Year after year, Zay Flowers is a dog. Flat out, I put it on Twitter. He is a dog at Boston College and played in a awful offense, horrendous quarterback play, and continued to make terrific plays game in and game out for Boston College this year.
And someone is going to get great value on Zay Flowers because, as we mentioned, Jackson Smith-Njigba was probably going to be the first one off the board because he's got the best mix of size and skill. That's what you're looking for in the number one receiver in the class. You are looking for the best overall wide receiver, and Jackson Smith-Njigba gives you that. Then you're looking at a bunch of teams that need a number two wide receiver and may not want to deal with the 5'9" height. They may want to go up and get, because, for example, we were talking about the Minnesota Vikings. They've got their skill wide receiver. They might want someone that's a little bigger. They might want to go for a Quentin Johnson, who is 6'3", and have more of a jump ball kind of guy. Zay Flowers, he is probably going to go somewhere between 23 and 31. He is going to go late first round, and that team is going to be the happiest team 10 years from now when he could potentially be that Steve Smith, Antonio Brown type of player. I mean, I'm scared that he drops to 31 to the Chiefs. I am scared that could happen because, my God, the Kansas City Chiefs could potentially just lock up the Super Bowl with that pick.
So let's see, there's 31 first-round picks.
Yep.
They're at 31. So that makes 29 teams in front of them? No, 30 teams. Well
less
hang on,
than...
let's do the math here.
There's
so 32, we're taking out...
The Lions...
30.
Yeah, 30 teams.
30 teams, yeah, because we're taking out Miami with the forfeited first-round pick and
Yep.
taking out the Chiefs. 30 teams. Do not let that happen.
No.
Do not let him go to the Chiefs. Please, dear Lord, do not let that happen.
And there are plenty of teams that are going to be able to draft him. Looking at the New York Giants.
Yes.
We're looking at the Dallas Cowboys. We're looking at potentially the Buffalo Bills if they want to go wide receiver. We're talking about the Minnesota Vikings, Baltimore Ravens, maybe even the Los Angeles Chargers. There are plenty. That's just to name a few teams. There are so many teams that could use a wide receiver. And for a guy that potentially probably has the highest ceiling in this class, you got to go for him. I mean, you have to take that risk. Once you get down to 20, it's about trying to find the gems in the first round, and he is potentially one of those gems.
So you talked about a team in particular where I had Zay Flowers falling in not only my first mock draft, but my second one in New York.
That's where I have him in my last one, yep.
With the Giants, a team that seems like they're going to run it back after a 9-7-1 season where they got a playoff berth, won a playoff game, got Daniel Jones a lot of money because of it, but ran it back with that same team pretty much where I don't know if that was the right call. You bring back, extend Daniel Jones, you tag Saquon Barkley, you re-sign Darius Slayton, you re-sign Sterling Shepard, you re-sign Isaiah Hodgins, you bring in Paris Campbell, and the big one here, trading for Darren Waller, was the only big addition this team has really made this offseason. If you really want to go out and capitalize on this offense with Daniel Jones, you add Zay Flowers to that room.
Oh, yeah.
And add him to that wide receiver room, move him around the formation with Waller, with Slayton, with Sterling Shepard, who's bound to get hurt by week 3.
Yeah.
Just add him to that offense. And Joe Schoen met with all 5 wide receivers. Or 5 wide receivers, excuse me. He met with Quentin Johnston, Jordan Addison, Hyatt, Tyler Scott, and Raheem Jarrett. Zay Flowers needs to be on his radar.
And, I mean, it just makes so much sense for so many reasons. One, he's a wide receiver, and the Giants don't have wide receivers. And 2, we've seen Daniel Jones. He has made strides over the past few years, but he still is not a mid to deep throw quarterback. He's going to throw a lot of crossers across the middle, a lot of slants, a lot of outside, just short little out routes. Zay Flowers, one of the best when it comes to open field work. He's extremely slippery. He's able to make defenders miss, and he does have very good speed. So being able to get him the ball in the middle of the field on a 5 to 10 yard crosser, that's going to turn it into a 20 to 30 yard play on occasion. Mm-hmm. So he is a big weapon, and it just makes a lot of sense if he gets down to the Giants pick for him to go there.
All right, so let's pull up some film here from Boston College, and again, a horrendous offense that they ran with this quarterback and with this system. But here we have just what we're looking at. A lot of formation usage, 33% out of the slot, also out wide. There's some sweeps like this one on the first play. Actually got into the end zone on that play, which is an incredible dive by him. But there's some double moves. There's some shifty run after the catch. You had a double move there. And this one, a dog. Over the dude's back. How you doing?
He's a football guy.
He is. Yeah, yick him up. But some shifty run after the catch as well. There's some screens in here. So this is what we have from him right now. Some deep balls as well. This is the same play again right here. Yeah, just over the shoulder.
2 defenders closing in on him.
This guy's 5'10", remind you. We're knocking this guy not having big play potential because he's 5'10".
Yeah,
two guys on him 40 yards down the field and still made a play.
I mean, just watching this film gets me excited to watch this guy in the NFL. If he slips out of the first round, the New York Jets, I want them trading for pick number 32. That is what I want, because there is no way this guy he should get out of the first round. And if he does, every team should be trading for 32 to get this guy, because he is that kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know we are hyping him up a lot, and if he doesn't pan out, this is going to look awful. But he's just that good coming out of college. And as you mentioned, a very, very bad offense in BC, and he still just looks absolutely amazing. I mean, he just looks like an NFL, top dog. There's just not enough good things to say about this guy.
Yeah.
And with the amount of people just hating on him because of his size and saying that he's, not a first round guy, he's not going to be a top level wide receiver, ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
And the other thing, with the dog mentality, there's some plays that, the play before this we just saw where there is a absolute dog pile on top of him.
Yep.
There's,
still
5
moving.
guys, and that pile is still moving.
Yep.
Again, this guy, at his size, 5'10", 172 pounds, moving a pile of linebackers, corners, safeties, barely getting any push from any of his teammates because, again, quite frankly, this offense wasn't good. They didn't necessarily know what they were doing half the time. Zay Flowers is the beast.
Yeah.
And again, you said we're hyping him up a lot. We're hoping this pans out well because of that. But some teams going to be very happy to land him in this first round.
He's my favorite player in this draft, and I'll tell you, I don't care where he goes. I will be watching very intently on every game this upcoming season, just to watch. He's just so exciting to watch. He really
Playmaker.
is.
I mean, turn on the TV, must-see television
For sure.
when the ball's in his hands.